everybody. It's Heather. Thanks for hanging out with me on a Sunday night. This is Evidence Through Motion. Since we didn't upload a video this week, and because, well, it was the holidays, and I completely forgot that this week was Thanksgiving. Hope y'all had a great Thanksgiving. It was quiet around here. Um, ah, sorry, and I'm getting sick. So I'm trying to not get sick so I can maintain my schedule. And speaking of that schedule, what you and I are going to do tonight is kind of have a little Thanksgiving decompression, check in with everybody, make sure y'all are doing okay. And then we're going to do a little content planning because now I have to move the schedule back a week. So I have my calendar, my Google Sheet, and we're going to work through this together. Hope everybody is doing well. And yes, I had to push it back by half an hour because toddlerism. Toddler's going to be a toddler and tantrum be a tantrum. But thanks everybody for being here. I wanted to try out a different time on Sundays. One, because I know a lot of people do church and go to church, so Sunday mornings aren't really the ideal time. So I wanted to see if this helped engagement a little bit. But I also just wanted to see if from my schedule and my cognition and just how busy I feel like I'm going to be on a weekend, if this would work better and kind of be that last thing before we head into our weekday. Instead of starting Sundays off with a live stream, we might end Sunday with a live stream. And I know people have a lot going on the weekends, so Sunday morning is not always the time that you just want to wake up and log into YouTube. I know a lot of people do it. Generally, I'm not one of them, so to do a Sunday morning live stream was a bit odd for me. But this is a part about having a new channel with a different perspective is we try, we experiment, we see what works. And I just want to see if this works better. Andrea, thanks for being here. Jeffrey, I was expecting this at 10:30-ish. When that didn't happen, I thought, I guess she took the day off. Guess not. I had mentioned it on a couple of streams this week that I was probably going to change the time. So it shouldn't have been completely unexpected, but And yes, please subscribe if you haven't. If you are new here, this is the channel that I started. This is my baby. It's very important to me. But it is not just for seniors. We got that reputation that fall prevention and safety and moving well is just for seniors, but it's not. It's in your 20s if you had an injury and you want to rehab yourself with that, but you're not low enough level to go to therapy and you're just kind of in that stuck. If you're in your 30s and you notice things are starting to change and you want some information on how to adapt to those changes. If you're in your 40s and you just don't want to lose what you have, to 50s, 60s, and beyond. This channel is for everybody, not just the elderly, as when we talk about fall prevention, we kind of gets that reputation. But falls aren't just for seniors because ice is slippery, and in the wintertime, everybody can fall on the ice. Ask me how I know. But we are here together. But if you know anybody that could benefit from any of this stuff, even if their parents could benefit from it, and you just kind of put it in the back of their head that, hey, this might help you, share this stream out. Let everybody know about it. I am so proud of what we've done in just a few short weeks. I can't even begin to see the possibilities of this channel. I have so many ideas. I'm having to take it slow because of the fact that I'm trying not to overwhelm myself. But I have all these things that I want to do. So I figured what better way to do it and make sure that I stick to my accountability is to discuss it with you guys. So here, we're going to discuss December's plan, not only weekly uploads, when our live streams are going to be, other things that are going to be on this channel besides our fall prevention series. I've discussed with a couple people about starting the Pain Chronicles series again. We started that over on my Squid Pro Quo channel, but I got busy with other things. But I want to have a couple people on that have had chronic pain, have had chronic issues, and let people just tell their stories. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it as like a podcast yet, um, and record it and then just release it, or if I'm going to do a live stream. When I know more, you'll know more. And the expert, thanks for stopping by. You have a great stream. I appreciate your support. You don't know how much your support means to me. However, I kind of have to, one thing I have to give you a hard time about, go Vanderbilt. Don't hate me. Gail, good to see you. General T, how are you, my friend? Snipe Hunter, hello, whatever your name is here. Yes, I know it's probably a rare occurrence right now that this video gets pushed out to people who have never seen me. But in the event that you've never seen me, I have a little channel called Squid Pro Quo. It's a little bit bigger than this one, but over there, I give pure sass and everybody knows me by Squid. Here, I use my first name, a little more personal, a little bit more not as sassy. You will see me think things through a little bit more on this channel, a little bit more reserved, because this is my career. That is where I have fun, and we read stupid lawsuits and we make fun of people and we make fun of ourselves. Here, as much as I want to have fun with you guys, the content is a little bit more daily life involved. Whereas that one, it's things that I'm never going to be personally involved in. Reddit stories, um, a lawsuit where a woman in Seattle is suing the Navy because um, of acoustic torture for her cat. The ridiculous. Over here, a little bit more of my what I went to college for. I am a certified occupational therapy assistant. I am a certified lymphedema therapist, and I am a corrective exercise specialist. All of which I use and informs my content and shapes informs my content on this channel and my opinions of the things I get. Over there, it's whatever goes. It's whatever the hot topic of the day is and whatever we feel like arguing about, complaining about, we have debates. Here, it's a little bit more, you yes, we're up to 211 subscribers. And most of you, if not all of you, came from my other channel. However, this is the nice growth that I want to see for a new channel. I am hoping to monetize this channel in 2026. I am not trying to rush it. However, with all the stuff, I've discovered that YouTube has been eating channels, and I've been told by a couple people who have more knowledge of YouTube and a longer history on YouTube than I do, that it's because a couple channels have been yeeted because they've grown too fast. And as much as I want to go, oh yeah, I want to do this. I want to get monetized. I want to, I want to help people. I want to start a business. I also don't want YouTube to think that I'm a bot or that my channel members or channel subscribers are bots. And also bots don't stick around. People that subscribe to you just because someone tells them to, they don't stick around because they're only doing what they have been told to do and not what they truly want to do. So I appreciate everybody hanging out with me and growing this channel naturally. I ate too much. My center of gravity has gotten lower. That should help my stability. And what about later Sunday evening? I was thinking about it, but I know other people have live streams on Sunday nights. Not like I extremely like. I've never planned my content or what I'm talking about or when I upload or post or anything like that around other people's schedules. The only schedules that I appease in the sense of like worrying about what time I'm going to go live and things like that is Mr. Squids and the Littles. Right now, he went to go lay down, and she went with him. So I was like, perfect. We might try 6 or 6:30. We're still kind of playing around with it. How do you like this time compared to the morning? Flash fan, I know you love it because you were actually able to be here because you work Sunday mornings. And by work, I mean preach. Hey, Faith, elderly like you. It's really so there's been I'm having conversations with my parents lately. And for those of you in your 40s, 50s, 60s even whose parents are still, bless their hearts, here, um, we've had these conversations lately about what's going to happen and planning ahead for when they're not here. And I'm thinking about it and I'm like, it's like I appreciate the forethought on the part of both of my parents. However, it's hard to believe that I'm 40 years old. And if I'm 40 years old, my parents are obviously older than me. So this channel is also dedicated to them and content that will help them. Um, so, thanks to the little dot on the list of subscriptions I saw, there was a live scheduled. I'm hoping that people are actually getting notifications for these lives and the intro and things like that. And I've been doing a monologue on my other channel, which I'm having so much fun with writing, by the way. Won't be as sassy over here. But and the intro will not be as sassy, but I'm hoping to work on those videos too. But um, I, I'm having the thing about building a new channel and building it from scratch and it being so important to me. I always joke, I love my other channel, but that was an April Fool's joke that worked. I started it and I'm like, what the hell? Whatever happens, happens. And it kind of took off. We're at like 4,200 subscribers over there. Maybe I'll make it to 5K, maybe I won't. I want to grow, but at the same time, like I'm grateful for what I have. Um, this channel is very heartfelt, personal, and like I said, it's my college degree, it's my profession. I take it a little more seriously than reading legal documents and making fun of the people who wrote those legal documents and critiquing people who are supposed to be smarter than me who act like they're not. So here it's crazy. I should share this stream with my brother. He was fishing when a beaver scared him and he fell on a rock. Oh, oh, oh. If I have anything for that. Speaking of that, okay, so I am going to show you guys my and if anybody wants to drop the link to it, I made a link tree. Um, I had a Stan store, but like just looking at it, ease of use, Linktree was better for me personally. Her first name is Calamari. Ah, she goes by Squid because she has her tentacles and a lot of different things and promotes stick it to it, kind of. Over here, I am not a doctor, not a doctor. Um, and I'm sorry to my physical therapist colleagues. My PTs have to go to school these days to get a doctorate. So if you've seen a PT who has graduated within the last 15 to 20 years, they have a doctorate. I don't, you can have whatever education, but be damned if I'm calling a physical therapist Dr. So and so. I did it at work to be sarcastic with my a couple of my friends who were PTs. But to actually call a PT a doctor, I think it's confusing for patients. So there's that. YouTube sent me the notification that you went live only 9 minutes in. And that's why sometimes when people do live streams, and I always say this for people who are new to the YouTube world, you'll have people that are like, get straight to the point. If you ever want to get to the point of one of my live streams, please skip ahead by like 10 minutes because of the fact that YouTube is so bad with sending notifications on time that that first 10 minutes to work on housekeeping stuff, introductions, intros, describing the stream, um, it gives YouTube time to send out notifications. If I start, and I learned this when I was new on my other channel, if I got straight to the point and started talking immediately, I would have to go back and re-describe things because people would show up and not know what's going on. Because YouTube was either so late or they were just running behind. I run behind all the time. I get that. So, and Tammy, how are you? Yeah, YouTube is looking for the real people in the chat. So, you know, not preach, but in service. Oh, so hard to believe I'm 52. Yeah, it's hard to believe I'm 40. Like yeah, it's this channel is a good channel because you get to use your college degree as well as helping others. Yeah, and that's part of where I'm like, I thoroughly enjoy helping people that want and or need it. For not being a people person. Oh, look, and I'm wearing the exact same shirt that I was wearing in this picture. Interesting. Uncle Buck. Uh, Linktree, isn't that a health bar in a video game? So this is my Linktree, and we're going to actually share it because I have a couple of things. Um, so um, there is a couple of things that I want to talk about. I don't mind when people email me at all, but we're trying to do a Sheldon, good to see you. Law Racks literally has a designated 15 minutes of BS goofing off until we get into the topic at hand. Yes, and that's part of where I learned that from. Um, I should have taken his note to make a note to the chat. Hey, if you're watching this on replay crew and you want to get to the point, skip to minute 17. Squid a boomerang. I just realized that I was wearing the same exact shirt when I took this picture. So with that being said, I get a lot of people who do email me. Um, I have absolutely no problem with emailing me. However, I have noticed a couple of issues that I personally just have a hard time with sometimes. Um, when discussing things through email, stuff can get lost in translation. And what I mean is, someone will say, um, someone might say, um, hey, I have this issue, I'm having a hard time with this, and they describe something and it makes sense in their mind and how they're describing it. But to me, I have a hard time picturing it sometimes. Whether that's just the way it's being described or things get lost in translation when you're using just words. And then I'll email back and I'll be like, well, answer this question, answer this question. And it just takes more time than getting straight to the point when people are asking questions. And I don't provide medical advice. Um, I have my disclaimer here. I don't provide medical advice. I am not a substitute for medical advice. But if you have a question that you don't feel comfortable asking your provider, or you don't have a provider to ask, or you don't know where to start, I will be more than happy to guide people in the right direction or recommend people want a product for like I use rug stuff or things to keep my rug down so I don't trip on the edge of the rug. Well, people want to know what those things are. I will be more than happy to do product like reviews and demonstrations and stuff like that. However, just asking for straight up medical advice, I recommend that you talk to a provider because they know you better than I do. With that being said, I did a little research on what I could do to make that process easier. Because like I said, I love answering questions and I love discussing things with you. And the fact that y'all trust me to want to let me into your lives for this advice. However, with the lost in translation, I do have a bookings link now. So this is something where like I said, I'm not charging for any of this. It's free. So like I said, don't I'm not asking for or reimbursement or anything like that. But it will be a face-to-face through Google Meet. So if you feel comfortable, you can be on camera and you can say, "Hey, I have this problem with getting around my house. Here's what I'm talking about. Can you help me?" It's a little bit easier than me trying to guess or keep having to email back and forth with you guys to get those questions answered so that I can give you my best answer or my best recommendation. So I do have 30-minute blocks. I think I have Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesdays where it would be, or Tuesday and Wednesdays are all I have right now, between like 10 and 1, where y'all can set up a legit, like, meet with me face to face, describe the problem. Hey, my hand, instead of someone trying to take a picture of their hand with the other hand and send it to me and describe, we can talk through it. That way, I just thought that would be a little bit easier for everybody to do. So I will drop this link in the chat, but there's another one. I am a corrective exercise specialist. I do have that certification, specifically wanting to work with people, and this is how has been my dream for like ever since I stopped working at the hospital, to work with people who are what I describe as susceptible to falling through the healthcare cracks and getting stuck in that continuous cycle of healthcare, of sick care is what I call it. You say you have pneumonia, you go to the hospital because you're weak because you have pneumonia. They send you to rehab. You get stronger. You go home. You get weaker again, and you fall. And now you broke something, or you broke a rib, you broke a hip, something happened, and now you go to rehab again. You go home. You're scared to do anything. You're scared to fall, so you don't do anything. You get weaker, and it's this what I call circle in the drain. So I do have if you are interested in anything like that, I do have a free corrective exercise intro where we can discuss and see what's appropriate for you, and that will be tailored to you using my corrective exercise specialist certification. Once again, not charging for anything, just letting you guys know that we have a more official way of doing things now than emailing me, hoping that I get it, hoping that I see it, hoping that I understand what you guys meant. So that will be a new thing. So it is combining both my squid channel and this one. So here is the link for that in case y'all want to save it. It will be in the description of every video. So it will be in the description of every video. It's not in the description of this one because I wasn't sure how I was going to intro that topic. Because everybody sees, official stuff. This is also where I will be putting PDFs, things like that. I had it on my stand store. I will be moving it over here. It was a 4-minute mobility routine, the first step in fall prevention. It was the first time that I ever made a PDF. So bear with me on that. It's a learning process. I know what I want to do, but on all of those downloads will be free as well. I'm not here to charge you for stuff. Hey, Joanne, I'm here now. Sorry I'm late. My sister is going to be having knee surgery. Is there anything you can do to help if I send her your videos? Right now, what if you want to email me, you can email me. If you don't want to air any of that out, that's another reason that is there. That will be no judgment zone, private, one-on-one, whatever is said there, as long as it's like the obvious you're not gonna harm yourself or anybody else type of situation. Whatever happens there stays there. It's not a content generation link, if that makes sense. I know that that happens sometimes where people tell people stuff and all of a sudden they end up on as content, and it's like that is not the no. We're a HIPAA kind of a situation here. Obviously, it's not exactly HIPAA because I am not a business. I am not your healthcare provider. I'm just a friend with advice. And the reason that I can provide that advice is I've not only gone to college for rehab and occupational therapy assisting. And the difference between an OT and an OTA is the OT does evals, initial evals, has to sign off on certain things. The OTA does the vast majority of treatments. So there's a difference. Yes. I'm Jack Haiti Buck. Thank you for that. Yes, the other thing is please bear in mind that Squid is a mom. And if something happens and she has to postpone, be nice. Yes. Um, but Joanne, getting back to your question, if you want to email me what the surgery is or do this stuff, some people prefer face to face, some people don't. I'm providing more than one option. Um, whatever happens, if you want to give me more information on that, I might be able to guide her to some prehab activities depending on what the surgery is. Because if it's like certain surgeries, I'm like, movement's not good for that right now. I'm not, you know. But sometimes just some simple range of motion exercises and making sure that you're as strong as possible going into a surgery can definitely help with the recovery. Um, for all the moms out there, they tell you, how if the stronger you are going into labor, the easier recovery will be. Kind of the same situation is the stronger you are going into an elective surgery, or not, maybe not an elective surgery, but what I mean by elective is it's not necessary, but it's going to be very helpful, um, versus emergency surgery, which is like you have to have it now. So Uncle Buck is protective. Yes. And there's a reason he's known as Uncle Buck because we all love him like that uncle. Do you recommend Tai Chi or Chai Tea for a bad cold? Tai Chi is an amazing, amazing, amazing thing. I do have a former coworker who is now retired. Um, I will be reaching out to him to ask him if he would like to come on to the channel and do some Tai Chi because he is a Tai Chi for rehab instructor, went through a certification process, I think. He used to do in services with the rest of us to how to do Tai Chi with patients. So, like, uh, so yeah, Tai Chi helped me so much during chemo. Yeah, um, Tai Chi is amazing for same thing with yoga in a different way, but the breathing, the relaxation, the thoughtfulness behind movement. And I am not a Tai Chi expert by any means. Um, I have gone to a couple of VA Tai Chi classes taught by some OTs at the VA. I have also had a OT friend who was basically an OT or a Tai Chi for rehab um, expert and know a few things from him, but I am by no means an expert in that area. However, I'm thinking about doing like seated yoga, and that might be some um, pre-recorded videos. That might be a handout of different poses, but it focuses on the intention behind movements and not just because we walk through our day and we take things for granted. And I don't mean like people or an awful thing, what we think of when we think of um, taking people for granted. But think about how many times you reach over your head to grab something off of a shelf, to get dressed. How many times do you lift your arms over your head when you're trying to put on a shirt? And then all of a sudden your shoulder doesn't work anymore, or your shoulder has pain with every movement, and now you can't dress yourself. We don't think about all the things that go into movement, but things like yoga, things like Tai Chi, breath work, things that get you to slow down and connect your breath and your brain with some movement can really help for a lot of things. So, Tai Chi, isn't that karate? No. No. Some of the same movements, um, in a way, in a roundabout kind of way. Um, Now it's an idea, maybe add one simple stretch anyone can do per stream. And speaking of that, um, this is kind of what I wanted to why I wanted to just have like a hangout night and planning to also let you guys know what I've been doing behind the scenes. Um, I haven't uploaded a video, but that doesn't mean that I haven't been working. I did record that video, but I recorded myself doing the exercises, and then I watched the video and I'm like, I wasn't happy with it. And I'm not trying to go for perfection, but I at least want to feel good about what I'm putting out there. And your girl's got some work to do before she's comfortable doing the full body on stream. However, I have been working on this was on my this was the PDF that I had for our 4-minute mobility in our first video. I did do a PDF. It's my first one, so don't judge me, but there's always what you wanna say and what you wanna put in a PDF, and then there's doing it and making it readable, easy to follow. Um, I'm learning that there's a difference between what I want to do and I want things to work and how they actually will work. So there is this. Um, so this will be going um on the Linktree page. I keep wanting to say Stand Store. Stand Store and Linktree are a lot of the same things. I just find one easier for my boomer self to use. And one is cheaper. Um, Stand Store was for all the features was like $29 a month, and your girl is balling on a budget. We don't exactly have the budget on this channel yet to pay $29 a month for things that I'm offering for free. Um, but this was my 4-minute mobility. Exercises can be completed sitting or standing. 1 minute of exercise 3 to 4 times daily. These were our 4 marches, ankle rolls, sit to stand repetitions, and a reach overhead with a side bend. How to do them, how often to do them, and then resources to make it relevant. But I wanted all the exercises on one page, so when you downloaded it, you could download it, you could put it on your fridge, and you could check it off. Like I did it today, and you just put a check mark or write the date on it. Make it easy to follow. But it was the how to do right here and the how to make it harder and what you're actually working. These are also things that you can do um, in bed. Like if you want to take gravity out of the equation with overhead reaching, instead of going up and going against gravity, do it when you're laying down. That takes gravity out of the equation and makes it a little bit easier. So if you have the mobility, but you do not have the strength, that is one way to do it. You take gravity out of the equation. Ankle rolls, you can definitely do in bed. Just at the end, either put your feet over the edge of the bed or just do them in bed. Things you can do before you even wake up in the morning to kind of get that body moving. Especially, I'm not old by any means. I am now middle-aged. Ooh, that hurts to say. However, I have noticed things are tighter. Things don't move as easily. Um, yeah, the range of motion is just a little less in the spine. So doing some of these things when I first wake up in the morning not only helps wake up, but helps get that blood flow and that lymph movement and helps everything before you even get out of bed. So when you do get out of bed, you don't get what my mother calls sleep injuries. You get out of bed and stuff just hurts for no reason at all. But think about how we can adapt this. You take these ankle rolls. Well, you can easily make the ankle rolls wrist rolls. Just same movement, different joints. Ankle rolls are probably more important because you obviously have to weight bear on your ankles. You don't really weight bear on your wrists that much. I will see if I can get my mom to do this in bed. And that's the yeah. And and part of OT is adapting everything. How can I help you where think about it as um threefold. Meeting you where you are, not expecting you to be able to, you know, walk across the house when you can barely stand up. Um, adapting things for where you are right now to make you functional. So your goal is to be independent with getting dressed. Some people are. We learn at an early age how to dress ourselves, but when we get hurt, you get a knee replaced, hip replaced, you have a stroke. That simple act of getting dressed is no longer simple. So, what OT does and what I want to do and teach y'all how to do for yourselves is figure out where you are, work with what you have in strengthening and getting a range of motion within what you have, adapting the current activity to make it tolerable for now, but knowing in the future that we can take some of those adaptations away when you get stronger. So there's a fine line there. It's also the corrective exercise of figuring out where your imbalances are because I will watch people in the gym who are strong as hell. But when you see them move, you're like, their hip hurts because they're adapting and they've adapted with that hip or that knee pain for so long that now their whole movement structure is off. When you adapt the way you move, certain muscles decide, okay, she's adapted. I don't need to work anymore. And they turn off. It's, it's a, it's impossible to be perfect with movement like we were when we were children. If you look at my child squat, she can get what I call ass to grass. She can put her butt to the floor, stand back up like it's nothing. I try to get my butt to the floor, my butt ends up on the floor and I can't get back up. Not the same way she can. But the goal is to maximize what you have and prevent things from getting any worse. More than anything, I need to increase activity in general. And an easy way to do this, Jeffrey, for you, um, watching YouTube. So watching a video or a stream or whatever, if you have an ad break, every ad break, stand up 5 times. Just go stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down. Those short movements, short bursts of movement, say 30 seconds here, a minute there, over done every 45 minutes to an hour is much better than a high intensity workout once a week. If you're doing like 15 to 30 seconds, even like even like you act like there's a punching bag in front of you and you just for 20 to 30 seconds. That is a hell of a lot better than doing nothing at all. So, I deliberately place things a little out of reach. It works. And also, I know it's cliche, And I try not to be the cliche person on here and repeat things that you hear in other places, but I'm realizing that things that I think are common sense, um, isn't common. And it might be just because of my background and my education that I think of these things, and I'm like, "Why doesn't everybody know this?" Um, Parking 2 parking spots away, instead of say there's you go to Walmart and you're, like, right up front, but you have the capability of walking, you just don't want to. Find that next open parking spot, maybe 5 or 6 spots away. That's 30 to 40 feet. Doesn't seem like a lot. Is not really that much in the grand scheme of things, but it's that now you have an extra 30 to 40 feet that you walked there and back. 80 feet. You just increased your activity by 80 feet, which is, you know, 40 40 steps depending on the length or the height of the person. Does it count if you know you have a charging cable within reach but can't find it and search for 30 minutes only to find it was plugged into the computer the whole time? Speaking of that, thank you, Jeffrey. I have I don't charge my phone at night like I should. Um, so I make sure that I charge it before I go to bed. And Tammy, thank you for the message. Special high intensity training. Yeah, I do too. I'm I have a ulterior motive with that one though. It's not so much to increase my activity. That is because I don't like the way people drive. So I park as far away from other people as I can. It also makes for an easy exit out the parking lot. FYI, if you park in the back of the lot, you can get out of the lot a lot quicker than trying to make sure there's nobody around you when you back up your car. Also, if you have 1 or 2 bags at Walmart or the grocery store, you only have 1 or 2 bags. Instead of taking your cart all the way to your car, just carry those 1 or 2 bags. If they're not too heavy and if it's not gonna make you fall. If it's going to put you in a dangerous situation, don't do it. My goal is to help you move better and live safer. We're not here to put you in a position that's going to get you injured. Like, I today was at Walmart, I ran a couple errands, got a car wash because I worked yesterday and where I had to go was dirt roads, and so my car ended up being this ugly shade of brown. So I got a car wash today and ran some more errands, but I was like I had 4 bags at Walmart, and I'm like, "You know what? I'm not gonna take my cart. I'll just carry the bags." I got 3/4 of the way and I was kind of like, maybe this wasn't a good idea," but I could do it. I just didn't want to. And there's the thing about it, like, I have my alarm set for 6 o'clock tomorrow because I want to be in the gym at 7 o'clock. Um, and I have to set it early, 1, to get my butt out of bed and going, but secondly, to make sure that the little is up and going too. However, um, when you don't want to do it is generally when you need to do it the most. An ugly shade of brown. It was like a rust because the dirt around here is like it's clay, and it was like a rust, like a it almost it almost looked like a baby poop brown, and it was the dirt colored wise, it was bad. On a black car, just really doesn't, do the trick. Um, uh, uh, I have to return a text real quick. Mondays. Alright. Yeah, North Carolina has clay ground too. Yeah. Yeah, that red clay dust. There, you got it, Heidi. And hose picker, hi, good to see you. Hose picker, just a heads up. I did, um, da, 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 da. You always know when you're looking for stuff and you can't quite find it. This is do. I have to reopen this because I closed the link. Um, Hose picker, this is for you. I described it a little earlier, but um, I have one-on-one face-to-face sessions available. Um, Obviously, no charge. We're not trying to do that. Maybe if I someday, if there's enough popularity and, I start training people, which is where this kind of goes to, depending on how people respond to that. I can do virtual training sessions. I do have that certification and I can do it. Um, I I can do it. I just haven't yet because I, I haven't known where to start. So this is Heather figuring out where to start. So, you know, we have a corrective exercise intro. And what that corrective exercise intro will be is looking at you, what your goals are, what you're capable of, maybe having you do a couple movements like a basic sit to stand or a squat and reaching overhead, just so I can see where your range of motion is and where your limitations might be. So, oh yeah, I am trying to work on starting an LLC as well. And with that, a disclaimer and a a liability waiver and all that stuff that you go through when you're doing any sort of training session with somebody. However, I'm working on trying to figure out like e-forms and stuff like that. It's a work in progress. This is just a starting spot. Um, like I said, your girl has lofty goals, but we got to start small, take baby steps on how to get there. With that being said, it's the same thing for y'all when we want to get back in shape or get more independent with something or start a new exercise routine. Anything like that is baby steps. Jeffrey, you want to get more active. Um, don't I don't recommend going for a 45-minute walk when you maybe haven't been on a 45-minute walk in a while. Um, like I haven't ran a 5K in a year and a half. I'm not going to go and run 3 miles because that is just a recipe for quitting. That is in too fast, um, in too fast, starting too big, and getting overwhelmed. Uh, we are baby steps. With that being said, this channel is baby steps too. So it's it's that. I did start a Amazon page. Um, with this one is things that I haven't put a lot of stuff in it, but I did do that. Um, I did uh, do that ergonomics video on my other channel. Um, they aren't lofty goals. They're just things to take one step at a time with ETM and training. That's true too. Um, I did do that uh, ergonomics video where I recommended certain things or I had certain things that were like my favorite things that I use every day, like this office must-haves. Literally, I use these things every day. Like this cube timer. Like these are things that are in my space every day. Um, so things that are on here are like my go-tos. And if I've recommended them to you, they will be in here. Yes, with this, I do get a commission. However, I will never recommend anything to anybody that I would not use myself. Um, it's just it's just yeah. I have gross motor skills on the left side stroke due to a blow to the temple on an amusement ride. Oh, tilted. Oh, 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 ow. I can't I can't imagine the the yes, Jeffrey. Yes, yes, yes. You were right. You were right. You were right. Jeffrey recommended this months ago. Um it's it's just a I am seeing a spider sitting on the other seat. No, you're not. No, you're not. There's no spider. Shush. Like, you were 26. I am so sorry. Like, I know that people have strokes and things happen and stuff happens, but not necessarily due to something that's supposed to be fun. Um, you go on a ride like that, especially something as innocuous as a tilt-a-whirl. Like, you don't think of a tilt-a-whirl as like, "Oh, I'm gonna go on this and I'm gonna severely injure myself and be changed forever." But it happens. And no, it's a poison. There is no poison. There is no more poisonous spiders in my vehicle. Um, and you can find all these things through the link tree. One of the reasons that I wanted to show you guys this was to keep myself accountable with keeping it updated. Um, you will be able to get everything from here, from my merch store, all of that stuff. Um, oh yeah, hose picker. If you don't feel comfortable talking about it, we understand. Um, This is I'm I never like to use the word safe space because in reality, like, there's no such thing as a safe space, but this is a non-judgment space where we don't judge people for things that have happened to them, especially things that are out of their control. Um, so with that being said, one of the other things that I wanted to go through was my if I can find it. You know when you have so much stuff that you're like, "How did I get here?" Um, my content calendar. So this is what I'm doing so that y'all can see for um and I have to stop sharing and reshare because I'm on a different do you ever look at stuff and you're like, "That's not how that works. That's not how any of that works." Content calendar. I have a Google sheet, but it's in a okay, we're gonna have to do it this way. I wanted to get the ride to really spin. I went hard to the right, went hard to the left, and yeah, nope. This is no such thing as a there's I don't pity people either. Well, I do, but that's for the other channel. Here it's a no judgment, you know? It whatever happened happened and you can't change it. We can just make the best of it. But this is kind of my content calendar. I have another PDF, but I'm trying to input it into this because I can translate it, you know. If I can have it on here and it can go to my phone easily, I'm more likely to do it. But balance and stability will be the long form video that will be recorded tomorrow. I know how I want to record it. On Tuesdays, I will be uploading hopefully a short um, of a simple exercise related to something in that week or something close to it. Um, we're just going to call it the movement minute. I might make a whole playlist. I'm not really sure. It kind of goes back to whatever you guys enjoy. Because at the end of the day, I have ideas, but I am nothing without the chat, without the subscribers, without the people emailing me or doing a virtual meeting with me, having questions, wanting to know things, wanting to learn things. And if I'm talking about stuff that you guys have no interest in, what's the point? Um, to an extent, it's good general knowledge. But if I don't tailor my content to what you guys want to see and what you guys have questions on, it's kind of pointless. Um, and the engagement will not be what I want it to be. Um, I've been trying to do work on this channel without trying to let my other channel go downhill. I've been trying to balance both. I might have to do a video every other week, depending on how this month goes. Because this month it's December tomorrow, y'all. It's December. It's Christmas. It's family time. It's holiday parties. It's things going on. Not only is the retention may not be there because people are busy, but I'm busy too. So this month is kind of going to be the challenge. And if we can make it through this month, that is what I will do going forward. If I can only upload once a long form video once every other week, fine. But we will be doing a live stream at least once a week because I really like interacting with you guys. So, you know, uh, I think you're thinking of empathy. Um, and I'm really not as prepared as I want to be, but I'm working on it. I'm trying to use um, certain things to help me. Like I have this getting filled out. Um, for those of you next week and the week after, or the video after this one, will be cognition and falling. So we have balance and stability, and then we have balance and stability, and then we have cognition and fall prevention. And the reason that I wanted to do that was one, I am cognitively impaired technically, um, but second, as we age, it's not we try to focus on our physical health, but sometimes it's not that you fall because your balance sucks or you fall because you um, broke your ankle and you are now trying to hobble along on one leg. Sometimes we fall because we cannot multitask or dual task. Your brain cannot do more than one thing at a time. So when we're trying to balance, do we have our keys, our cell phone, our wallet, things like that, walking out of the house, it's slippery. If your brain is not focused on what you are doing with the walking, um, that can be a fall risk. It's not always about how you are physically. Sometimes it's mentally. If your brain is not focused on the task at hand, that can become a problem. It's like when you're cooking and today making dinner, um, Mr. Squid made his lunch for tomorrow. Well, that um, interrupted or he was standing in front of the stove. I had something in the oven under the broiler. I thought, okay, I'll give it an extra 30 seconds for him to move and get out of the way. And it didn't happen. And I burnt what I had under the broiler. Like, yes, or the dog or the cat. Yes. Um, at least you're cognitively aware of your cognitive impairment. Try saying that 10 times fast. No, I wouldn't. I can barely say that once. I am aware of it because of my education. There are certain things I can see in myself only because I went to school for it. If I didn't go to school for some of this stuff, I would not have the insight into my own issues. Um, but I also have there's tips and tricks on how you can make things easier. Like this channel is all written in this color. This is an erasable pen, not as primitive as the erasable pens that I had in high school, but everything for this channel is written in this color. Everything for the other channel is written in the pink or that coral color. That's so my brain can instantly look and go, okay, that is for this, that is for this. So when I have 10 things written down, I color code so I can keep separated. So not everything gets mixed together because if too many things get mixed together, the brain starts to get confused and it's hard to separate. And then you start feeling overwhelmed. And when you start feeling overwhelmed, you start feeling anxious. When you start feeling anxious, it affects your memory. And it's like It's that circle. One thing leads to another, leads to another, leads to another that you can't get out of. So something as simple as writing in a different color pen for a different color or a different activity can make things easier. All of my when I make out my calendar, all of my subscriptions, like, oh, I know that this renews on this date. YouTube Premium gets billed on this date is red. Like all of anything related to court cases and dates that things are due is black. I have a system. So when I look at my calendar, I don't look at my calendar and go, "Oh my god, there's so much on my calendar. I don't know where to start." It's like, "Okay, this is bills. This is one channel. This is another channel." It's s- simple things like that that seem like, "Oh, it's a pen color." Can help keep the mental processes a little less anxious. Huh. And all the house cleaning and work and maintenance is invisible. Well, I worked 3 years to get out of the wheelchair. Even went through experimental procedure, Mark Block. Now I'm 66 and I'm back in the chair. Well, you have goals. You have goals. Yeah, I have to color code because if I don't color code, it's like things get weird because I look at stuff and I feel overwhelmed. And if you feel overwhelmed with things, you're less likely to do it, which is one of the reasons that we want to make this the process of getting safer, getting stronger, getting back to where you feel comfortable with doing things. You it's a slow process. That's why when you're jumping into a new gym routine or a new exercise routine, you don't go for the heavy like just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do something. If you haven't worked out in a while, walking on the treadmill for 5 minutes might be your max. And guess what? That's okay because that's 5 minutes that you didn't do yesterday. Yeah, I have, but, speaking of the color coding, this is how the little hijacked my pink one, so I have to figure out where that one went. Oh, nope, it's actually here. She put it back. Whoa, she put it back. Whoa, I need to write that down because that's an occasion. But everything has a place. Like, and these are all erasable too. So if I make a mistake, when you make a mistake with a pen and you're like, "Oh my god, I just wasted all this space," and you kinda have to start over. I was the type of person where I'd start an entirely new page because I messed up on one word. Erasable pens are genius. I might actually put these in my Amazon store because I love them so much. So, my kid is home from the hospital, coughing blood. Oh my god. I got your email the other day, and I just wanted to give you a giant hug. So, you need to thank her and give her a reward for some kind for putting it back, make that memorable and flourish. Yeah. I mean, obviously, she's not gonna remember what I'm thanking her for tomorrow because she's in bed, but, you know, there will be a next time that I can. But, yes, we always need to reinforce the positive behaviors because and I'm not a parenting expert. This is my first child, and she's 3. I am by no means a parenting expert, but that reinforcement is going to definitely help. Um, so I will next Sunday is the 7th. I will try to do my live stream we'll try 6:30. Um, we'll schedule it for 6:30. See, and this is how I'm doing it so that I can look at it. I know I can put, and this will be on our balance and stability because I will have that video out this week. That is my goal. Probably will not have a PDF on it right away. Um, like I said, what I want to do and what my brain is allowing me to do at certain times is two different things. Sounds good for the timing. Yeah, like I said, it's a work in progress and it's an experiment. If I keep things the same, I might get some growth out of it, but it might not be ideal for me or for everybody else. So trying to do different times of the day to see what works. Um, I used to do a live stream on my other channel at like 9:30 or 9 o'clock when the little was really little, when she'd be asleep, and it worked. And then all of a sudden it didn't work. And so like we might have to do some changing, but I want to try to be consistent with times once we find something that works so that one, I know what my schedule is looking like for the week, but also you guys know when I'm going to be live. So there's not like a, is she going to be live today? Is she not? So I will try to do a community post at least once a week too to discuss questions or concerns, and also kind of get a gauge on where you guys what you guys are feeling about some of the things we've been doing on this channel. You can schedule one for 3 a.m. and make Sponge happy. Oh my god, I woke up the other night, I think it was Friday night at, like, 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna do some Sudoku on my phone to try to, like, get my mind back into sleep mode," and all of a sudden, I get a notification that he went live, and I'm like, "Okay, this is gonna be a good one," and I'm like, "I gotta go back to sleep." Uh, yeah, try different times as needed. You're good about telling people about delays or changes, this will work, and I try. Um, I used to feel kind of not not embarrassed, about putting things on my personal Facebook page because I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm embarrassed." But then I read the book Let Them, or I listened to the book, Let Them and the Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins. Great book. And then I'm like, "Why am I caring what other people think?" I don't care what other people think most days about most things, in the general sense of, like, I'm gonna post something. I don't go, "Oh my god, who's gonna judge me for this post or this article that I'm reposting on Twitter," or whatever. And then I'm like, "Why do I care?" Mr. Squid asked me a long time ago when I was upset about something. He goes, "Why do you care?" So, every time that I start to get, like, anxious about if I post it on my personal Facebook and my family sees it or my friends see it, they're gonna make fun of me. And I'm like, "Why do I care? This is for me and for my audience, not to worry about people judging me." So if you haven't seen the book, read the book Let Them, um, by Mel Robbins, a great book. Great book. For her speaking engagements, she was like, "Why I used to be embarrassed about posting them on my social media because I was afraid people would judge me for them." And then she's like, "Let them. If they wanna judge me." Like, "Okay." Like, you know? Imma schedule a time with you for therapy. Bengals won in Thanksgiving, and I died in disbelief as a result. Oh my god. Oh my god. We need to do on the other channel, we need to do a sports show soon because there has been college football stuff going on. There was a coach that disappeared, um, accused of some heinous things, might not be on this side of y mhm, the living anymore. It's it's been an interesting things that we just haven't talked about, and, like, there's been some stuff going on in that sports world that we just need to, yeah, and every time that I start to overcare, because it's okay to, like, obviously, I care what people think because y'all are my audience, like, I do this help help myself in the sense of getting out that OT brain, because otherwise, like, I look at the store I go to the store and I look at people and I'm like, "Oh, you could use a reacher," or You could use this," or "It looks like you have lymphedema," and my brain goes into overdrive. Um, it's like walking in front of a PT, you're always wondering if they're analyzing your gait. FYI, they are. But with with that being said, this is my outlet for not only to get all of that stuff out of my brain. Um, it's to help you guys. So in a way, I do care what you guys think because we're a team. This is a community. But at the same time, it's like there are some people on the internet that are just rude for the sake of being rude and they care and they're mean to people. There are people who wake up on a daily basis and are angry that I exist. Those are the kind of people that I'm like, let them. Yep, don't care what people think. That's why I'll sometimes say other people's unrealistic, ill-conceived ideas are none of my business. Um, other people's insecurities are not my problem when it comes to dulling. Never let anybody dull your shine. And when I say that is like you will have good things happen to you, and there will be certain people. I think Charlotte Dobre described this really well. She used to have a friend that she used to always hide the good things that happened to her or not tell this person because this person would be visibly upset when things go to happen to her. That is the kind of person where I'm like, "Yeah, you know, like that's the kind of person where I'm not going to let that kind of personality bring me down and neither should y'all. But it's like Jeffrey. Uh Jeffrey recommended some things, and I was like, "You know what? And then it was like, "You know what? He was right." But I'm not going to get on Jeffrey's case because he gave me some ideas. It's like, no, he was trying to help. And he wasn't judging, he was just trying to help, giving me things that I might not have thought about. So, it's getting rid of those unrealistic ideas of yourself too. That says, "I can't do this because so and so will get mad," or "I can't do this because so and so says I'm not good enough." That is the kind of people where you're like, "Let them, let them." But on that happy note, we have been at this for an hour and 15 minutes-ish, not even asking for a part of the proceeds. And you know what? There probably won't be any proceeds, because it is what it is. Um, it's just instead of trying to constantly tell you guys the things that I do like, um, and the whys, I just put them on a list. And if they work for you, they work for you. And if you decide to purchase it and I get like a 50-cent commission, perfect. But I'm not like and Jeffrey, I think that was the missing link is I was gonna be judged for having an Amazon list. Just like people judged me for having a wish list, because people will constantly talk crap about people who have Amazon wish lists. And I started one as because people asked for it, and then I'm like, "I have it. If people wanna see it, they wanna see it. If they don't, fine, they don't have to." Um, but it's, when others can't be happy for you and are insecure about it with the good things that aren't people that need to stay in one circle. Yeah, but people get really, really, really upset when you, people get really upset when you say, um, "This isn't working for me anymore. I'm done." People tend to get really upset and they lash out. And that's when you really gotta be like, "Yeah, this is not working for me." So, I will be filling this content calendar out. Um, we will see what happens based on I'm gonna try to do a movement minute on Tuesdays. It'll just be me recording myself, probably in selfie mode, um, or with like a phone tripod, just or a selfie stick, nothing fancy. Um, and you know what? Those unplanned, like, "Hey guys, I'm doing this," tend to get the most views too, and the most engagement. When I'm trying to plan something and trying to like cut a video down into like shorts and smaller videos, the views really don't get there. But you go randomly and you're like, "Hey guys, how's it going? What's up? It's Tuesday and I'm having a rough day." And people are like all into that. So you just got to see what works. So yeah, that's all I keep. That's why I keep my circle small. Yes. Well, with the recommendations, if you're using something, it's not the same as paid promotion where you're touting factors and VPN software. I do have a VPN. Um, I did get a couple emails for some sponsorships on the other channel, but I'm very leery about companies, especially ones that I've never heard of before. So I'm not really sure how I'm gonna manage that. One, I never thought anybody would want to sponsor me, and I'm also not gonna take sponsorships from products or companies that I don't use. Um, so there's that. I will never take a sponsorship from a company that I don't trust or that I haven't used their products myself. Like, there are certain things where I joke and I'm like, "Sponsor me because I drink your damn Celsius drink every day. Alpha Lion, I use your pre-workout." I use your pre-workout every day. Like, there are certain companies where I'm like, you know, "Y feel free, um, because I use your products every day." But there are some companies where I'm like, "I I don't know you, and do you honestly?" Like, yeah. Plus, I'm not big enough, so yeah, and this is the thing, I also will put stuff in there, that I don't personally have myself. The thing that I wanted to put in there with this channel specifically is, um, I have helped some people with some mobility aids, walkers, things that I know that worked from when I was in the clinic. Not even like a clickable link, where people can buy those things if you don't want to, but just to know what they are. More of an education on, "Hey, this is what I recommend. This is where you can get it if you so choose." Not for everybody, but like, "Hey, I can't put my socks on. I need a sock aid." Maybe Squid knows or has a sock aid on her list of shit where, or she can see what can help me with dressing, and she might have something on there where I don't have to actually ask a question or schedule a time. I can just go look at her link, see it, and know what I'm looking for without having to ask a question. So I also wanna make it like a self-discovery kind of situation where you can find out answers without necessarily having to take the time to ask me if you don't want to. Because I know some people are perfectly, capable of doing things on their own, they just need a place to start, and that list might be a place for them to start. Hey, instead of asking a question that I don't feel comfortable, because there are some people who are on replay crew or lurkers during live streams that they're talking in chat and asking questions is just not their thing. I get it. There are some lurkers that are like, but there are people who lurk who are just, whether they're watching on their TV and can't comment in chat or just don't feel comfortable because that's not everybody's thing. Um, that list is also, hey, I need stuff for my house. I know that Squid knows this, has used things in the past with patients. Let's see what's on that list without having to ask a question. Although I do love the engagement and the algorithm likes the engagement, um, I'm also realistic that not everybody is the engagement kind of person, and that is perfectly fine. But I do appreciate if you do hit that like button and you do share the stream. That that helps me too. But on that note, will try to keep these in the future to about an hour long. I just wanted to kind of have a little post Thanksgiving decompress, hang out for a bit, talk to you guys, show you some things that have been going on behind the scenes, kind of some upgrades that we are making. So that, yes, even though you haven't seen me put out content this week, I am still working on making this channel better. Um, whoop, it would nice if I wouldn't just hit random buttons on my keyboard. My dad had the sock putter on her. You pull the sock onto a metal frame inside out and push your foot in, worked for him while he could no longer reach down to pull out his socks. Yes, there are plastic ones, there are soft-sided ones and hard-sided ones. There are even hard-sided ones for a wide foot. Um, each one comes with a, um, pro side and some some cons because you have a wide foot. Yeah, you get a wide plastic sockade, but one, do you have the grip strength to stretch out that sock? Some people don't. So we have to figure out things that work for other people. And that's one of the reasons that I love personalizing things to people because not everybody, we don't live in an off the shelf world. We need things personalized to us, whether that be things like a phone or advice. And that's kind of why I'm here. So, guys, do hit the like button, do share this. I do have that new link tree. Go check it out. Tell me what you guys think. Please comment what you would like to see, what you think is working well, what you think could be pre-worked better, or what you would like to see. Because I don't know how to make this channel better without getting feedback from you guys. And I'm always open for feedback as long as it's constructive. If you tell me you suck at life, if you believe a comment that says you suck at life and give bad advice, that's not telling me how I can improve. That's just being a dick. Let's be honest. Excuse my language, but that's just rude and uncalled for. So, you know, I laugh. It happened when they ended up stealing the redirects from such as YouTube, TikTok, and X. All right. Y'all have a great day. Yes. Thank you, Heidi, for sharing my link tree. You are, thanks to my mods. I will be adding mods as this channel grows. Um, but I wanted to start it out with people who um have either talked to me specifically about this channel. And Tammy's not here, but I love her. She's at work. Um, she's my mod because she is a rehab gal. She knows exactly what I think and how my brain works, which is a scary place, but it is. Y'all have a great day. I will see you guys tomorrow on the other channel at 2 o'clock. I appreciate you too. Because honestly, I couldn't do this channel and have the confidence to start this channel and have all these ideas if I wouldn't have had some sort of success on that channel. So I can't do this without people watching and interacting with me. It's kind of impossible. So I appreciate you guys as well. And I will see you guys on the next one. Have a great day and thanks for hanging out with me. Bye.